Hello and welcome. Today we are setting the intention for a retreat. Let's get ourselves all hooked up. Hello, welcome. We are setting the intention. These are a few days before retreat, so now the energy is opening up. So, some of you already are intending on coming to the retreat. Some of you might not. Might wonder, should I not? Shall I not? So sometimes that the purpose of having a retreat is that it is an internal, the body starts engaging with the energy that we are opening up to. So that is why we have a retreat, because part of opening the body, how we do it here, is that we will go through levels of awareness, levels of energy movement. And this is somewhat different than what we are used to. Different than techniques and different than what we're kind of trained to in life, the way we think about our body. So this is literally, we're kind of getting on the river of life and we are kind of going down the river. And instead of kind of stopping at every stone or getting caught up by the crocodiles or every blockage or any threat that is there, we kind of come back and keep daring to release it and flow with it. So you might not totally see all the obstacles on the road, because we kind of address them gradually. And it takes a while to understand that there actually will be some obstacles on the road. So you will not necessarily hear all the obstacles from the get-go, because your ego kind of filters it out. If you feel very good coming here just on this page and you're like, oh my God, or getting my book, or just tapping into a Wisdom Wednesday once, or like the retreat, you think, oh my God, I felt great. I felt elevated. I felt good afterwards. And then our mind goes to be like, oh, I got it. I understand that this is easy. And then we kind of forget that the process of awakening the body is something into body being, is something that kind of takes time, because there are levels of awareness of ourselves, of our body, of life, of our situation outside. That will take time, and then you will get kind of, as you go deeper, then you will get confronted with different aspects of yourself. These aspects will literally kind of arise from the depths. Suddenly from this river, there might suddenly arise like poisonous plants or all kinds of stuff that you haven't necessarily seen before, because it's remained hidden. Most people are just holding on to a rock all the time, or they just like go through the river so fast. But this is kind of like, we're neither going too fast nor too slow. So when I'm setting up a retreat once in a while and different stuff, it is kind of to continue the way, to follow the flow of the rhythm of the river. I'm listening to the river. So I'm kind of the guide on this river. Sometimes you will start to be like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just going to hold on to a rock. And be like, that's fine. You might take a break. And then I might be like, maybe it's time for you to keep keep moving on, keep going down the river. Let's see. There we go. So that is the potential. That is where these retreats are nice, because it sets an intention. It sets an intention for you to be like, yes, there is something I feel pulled, or yes, I feel my body's working on something, or life outside you, or something is happening with your family or work or your parents or your spouse or your kids. Something is happening that you feel like maybe there are unconscious parts of your body that is coming up, that we can help move through the system. So that is the path here, the ease of being, which this retreat is called. We are stepping into beingness. But then as we step into beingness, we're stepping into the body, which becomes body being. And with that, we are confronted with life. Because in our body, in our being, we're connected to everything around us. Our ancestors, our gender, our color, our culture, everything is there. So we're connected to all these things, but we might hold animosity or fear or guilt or shame all in these things towards these aspects of life. So sometimes when we feel fear, we just hold on to the rock, or we hold on to the stick and then we fall off the raft. And we might not be able to swim yet. So it might kind of create some complications. So, hold on here. There we are. So all these complications are part of our journey, and they're kind of necessary, because there's certain skills that we are growing, we're getting used to, we're getting tested in our faith, dare to be fearless and dare to continue going down. Most people have awakenings of different kinds, and it's not hard, especially not in our time when there's so much information about different stuff, that it's easy to kind of step into something and it almost happens unconsciously, and then you have experiences, or just like falling in love, it kind of suddenly just happened. It's not so hard. Maybe you had something from a previous lifetime, or whether it's a lover or an awakening process. So it's easy to go through these, and then you think, I figured it out. But there are also deeper levels of the body to kind of clean out, and to kind of actually go deeper than any technique. Then that is where the ease of life comes in. It literally is hidden within all traditions. It is there in every aspect of life. There is ease if you dare to tap into it. So it is the flow of life. It's daring to meet life with flow, and daring to connect in such a way that it's flowing, that suddenly you can harness the energy of life. So that is weird, but we have all experienced it. But a lot of times, some kind of like we sometimes experience it, and it's like kind of like beginner's luck. We don't know what happened. We found it. Then we think like, oh my God, I'm so magical. I'm so wonderful. I found it. And yet it's not hard to find. But it's kind of, there's all these identities that we have. And everybody tries to bring you into identities of being some kind of color or ethnicity or gender or nationality or, family orientation, a father or a daughter or a son or a mother or a parent or grandparent. all these identities. That's how people all kind of hold on to you. They want you in identities. I'm so amazing because I'm a woman. I'm a goddess. I'm such amazing because I'm a man. I'm a warrior. We're all kind of creating all these identities. Well, that's kind of where the ego gets stuck in these identities. So we start holding on to the rock again, and we kind of stop flowing. Unconsciously, we stop flowing. And when we stop flowing, the water starts building. The raft starts taking in water. And we start sinking. And then we start having physical stuff, and we start to experiencing other people knock into us because we're getting wet, we're getting cold, we're getting all this stuff because we're holding on. We're not daring to continue to flow. So then we're like, why am I getting sick? Or why is this happening? Or why am I feeling anger? Or why am I feeling anxiousness? Why am I feeling all this stuff? Or why am my spouse doing it? Why are my parents? Because we're taught to hold on to stuff instead of letting it flow. So here we are, literally, we're flowing into we're stepping onto the raft and daring to continue down. So these retreats, for the people that have been to previous ones, then yeah, it kind of helps to set the intention to continue flowing. And then for others, this might be your first time. Maybe you haven't been here. Maybe you are wondering about coming physically to Chicago, or maybe joining for the online part, which the online is really beautiful. Then you can literally see it live. The times are in my highlights on my Instagram or on my Facebook invitation. But it's like usually around 5 Chicago time. So that means like 12 p.m., like midnight Norwegian time. And then on a Saturday, we usually have like around 11 Chicago time. That's usually like around 6 Norwegian time. And then we have around 3 Chicago time. And then that's around 10 10 Norwegian time. And then we have 11 on Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. at Norwegian time. So it has a flow to it. You can join them online live, or you can watch them a little later at your own convenience. So you kind of step into, you will now kind of, the energy has started this week, so that kind of intensifies, and you might start feeling something coming up. If you haven't totally figured out if you're coming yet, you might start feeling your body, or you might feel some anger coming up, or different stuff, and you might be like, maybe this is a good time to kind of flow with it. And or you haven't totally seen stuff coming up, and it might come up today or tomorrow on Friday, and be like, okay, here it is. Or you might not totally, you might know you're coming, but you're not feeling anything underneath yet. Everybody's kind of, sometimes you're masculine, you're more like fine, and feminine, you can be more feely, touchy-feely in your life. So everybody's kind of assessing yourself in different ways, depending on like what aspect of your ego you're kind of seeing or connected to. So that's the beauty of this. We kind of open up the beauty of the space. We shifted it around, like opened up it, so it's really starting to feel this expanded. I'm sitting in this cool green chair. No one really sees it. If you see it here. Oh, there we are. So there's there's an openness and relaxation to the space. It's really starting to step into the Americanness, to this new flow. To So if you have come here before, you probably will be like, oh, what's going on? Am I ready? Am I not? Because the energy is elevated. It's literally comes in kind of unconsciously, and then we kind of take it in through the weekend, starting to digest it. So yeah, it's a beautiful retreat. And if you have any questions, DM me or Caitlin, and if you know somebody else who's attending and you're curious, ask them, and then about price and whatever, and reach out to me and we'll talk about it. And yeah, if you're new, I would love to see you here and start this flow of life that we are stepping into being, opening up the energy of life, the energy of being, the ease. That is what I kind of guide, allowing this flow to come in. So that's going to be fun. So let's kind of usually at the end of every session, if you're new, we kind of open up to just kind of lay back in our seat, kind of maybe put down your phone or close your eyes or just sink back, and you're just kind of letting this pressure, letting this heat, letting this tingling sensation to kind of just enter in to space. It's kind of like it's like digesting a food. We're allowing the burger to come in and be eaten, be processed through the body. So we're dropping the energy in, down, into the chest, into the shoulders, into the hips, into the knees, into the ankles. Into the floor, into the ground of being, opening up the awareness of our being. Yeah, the light is coming in, the space is opening up. And yeah, the senses, the eyes, the light, the sound, the traffic, everything can suddenly start, everything heightens. And then it comes up like a wave, like the river, just up through the body, like a breath almost, flowing up and through the system. So the energy is dancing. It's gonna be fun to see you guys. Some people are already DMing me and feeling some stuff happening. There's like nausea or headache or just anger or different stuff that starts, or work stuff or other stuff that comes in to kind of work in the system. So it's moving. Yeah, so ask me Prowse, and thank you for your donations for today. And we're stepping into retreat. So this space is set and the flow. You might start dreaming stuff these days. You might have some sleepless nights as stuff happens. So great. Perfect. And yeah, I will either hear from you outside on the DM or something, or I will see you guys on Friday, or later on, as you see this when it resonates and flows. So thank you, and I will talk to you later, guys. Have a beautiful Wednesday.